We stopped Omar on the use of the participle. Present participle used an adjective to modify the noun. Here at the beginning to modify the noun subject. It can be verb phrase like that. It can be an adjective as past participle. It is the job of past participle. Can be as an adjective. Now here, the past participle can be verb. Why not? It depends. Like that, I have to, so the verb. Like that. Again, the past participle can be in passive form. Why not? So this is past participle, but not adjective. These simple ones, and here we have a lot of examples as you see. So revise at home, no problem. Now let's see. Question with answers can help you. Now let's go to the second kind of phrases, participle phrases. Very important one. Very important. Participle phrase, it's from the present participle phrase. It starts with present participle. This is the participle, and this is the phrase. But look, the phrase at the beginning of the sentence. At the beginning of the sentence must be followed by comma. So imagine it like that. Phrase, comma, subject, verb, complement. You need comma. Why? Because the writer starts with present participle phrase or past participle. If the present participle at the end, you have two options to use comma or not. And it depends on the meaning. Here, who is barking? The cat or the dog? The dog. Because the phrase near to what it modifies. Again, the dog barking at the cat. So who is barking? The dog. Here is a phrase at the beginning, followed by comma. And remember, it modifies the subject of the sentence, not the word after the comma. But don't choose the word after the comma, the subject. Find the subject. So describe lion. Because logically, who can switch its tail? Mountain. Or lion? Lion. So this is right. This is called present participle phrase because I know it from the verb plus ing. Can the verb plus ing has adverb like that? Why not? Because it's a verb. Now let's see an example from the test. Look, misplaced, improved. Very important to know the beginning and the end. Look, riding, present participle, phrase through, preposition phrase. The phrase of riding after moose. So the animal was riding his motorbike. The moose is not human to see his. But the animal can be called his. Okay, but how the moose was riding? Does not make sense. But remember, we don't use our sense or our knowledge or our outside practice. No, the text. Does the text describe the animal riding? If it's yes, this is correct. If it's not, it's wrong. Here, for example, the present participle at the beginning. Find the subject he. Is this subject did this action? So imagine it like that. Is this subject did this action? Yes. So it's in the correct place. And the comma in the correct placement. So very important to know the beginning and the end. And of course, the comma can help you to know the beginning. But sometimes we test you for the comma. So you must find the subject, find the verb. That's why I tell you, very, very important to know where is the subject, where is the verb. If you know it, every English finished. All the writing in your test depends on this point. Where is the subject, where is the verb? So we start the phrases to know everything. Here we have a lot of phrases. Here, describe pronoun. Here, look, describe the concrete. Reinforced with steel, what? Concrete. Imagine it like that. Concrete which was which is reinforced with steel, but we don't use the pronouns to make it shorter. Like that, skeleton supporting the walls. Or what supporting the walls and the floors? Skeleton. So we can use comma at the end, why not? If add is non-essential. Here, look, this is skeleton covered with skin. What is covered? Look, between two commas, non-essential information. Why not? This information used as past participle. In the middle, why not? Delete it, you will find the subject and verb. So when you find present participle, past participle, expect it to be phrase. If it is phrase, you will find another verb like that. So this phrase. So always revise. And of course, sometimes we use comments to help you to know the beginning and end. That's well. And don't be afraid or surprised like here ing and here it's past. Okay, architects who were using the latest. So it's a past, not present. Because if you used here, used, it will be wrong. Architects who were used, how architects were used. So not the architect's objects, materials, no. So you need present participle to make it logical. That means they were using. That's all over. So this is second kind present participle phrase or past participle phrase. And the end, at the beginning, followed by comma. In the middle, two commas or no commas, you will find a lot. Main example. The third kind is gerund. Gerund phrase. But what is a gerund? And it comes in the test. And remember, because you made two mistakes for it. The gerund can be used as noun. And the noun can be subject. Can be predicate, nominative after verb to be. Can be direct object, indirect object, after preposition. Why not? It's a noun. Use as noun. Why not? It depends on the writer. For that, be used for synonym. Synonym is noun. And noun can be preceded by adjective. Why not? Look, talking. This is preposition phrase. It modifies talking. Why not? It depends on work. The harsh lacking. Why not? No. And the preposition phrase modifies noun. So don't think this is a verb because this is a verb. And this is noun. Can be preceded by adjective. So the gerund can be noun. So the right.
Yes.
So when you find the adverb near to the gerund, because the gerund is subject, and here the verb. If you found the adverb, don't be surprised. Describe how the reading goes. Hardly. Because it's still as verb. Here, again, no problem. Look here, verb plus ing, present participle because followed by sentence. Here, used as verb, so we call it verb. Here, after preposition, so we call it gerund. So here, present participle. Here, it's a verb phrase. Here, it's a gerund. It depends on the style of writing, but all of them correct. That's why for the gerund. So a gerund phrase, from the name, a phrase has a gerund. Look, because it's a subject. Gerund or not, yes. And how about the phrase, the rest of the words? Can we use comma after the gerund? Wrong. Remember, can you use comma after the gerund phrase? No. After the gerund? No. Because how can I separate the subject from the preposition phrase? And as I told you, any prepositional phrase should not separate it from what it modifies by comma, except it's for non-essential information. You need to comma. Here again, gerund. Can you use comma? No. Preposition, gerund can use? No. If a gerund phrase, A phrase has a gerund. That's all. Of course. Can we use the gerund after possessive pronouns, possessive adjectives? Yes, you can, because it's now. I can say my studying, my playing, talking about my style of playing, my way of playing. No problem. So don't be surprised. Here we have a lot of examples. And the functions. Here it's object, here is subject. So remember the gerund can be subject. So like that. Scouting is, and the gerund singular, not plural. That's why. A lot of exercises. Let's see. A lot. Infinitive. Infinitive, as you know, 2 plus verb. That's all. Infinitive has many positions. It can be subject. Remember, infinitive can be subject because it comes in the test. To fly is singular. After verb, why not? It can be object. Why not? It can be many places. But it check 2 plus verb or not. And it checks the meaning. If I take the infinitive here, we soon loaded the car to go. So the car will go by itself. No, but we're ready to go. So it must be after what it defines. That's why. A common mistake called this a split infinitive. Like that, 2 plus infinitive can be separated by adverb. No. But how? Yes, you separate the meaning. So you should keep 2 plus infinitive near together. You can use the adverb after the verb or before the verb at the beginning. Not like that. So we call it a split infinitive. But how about the informal speaking? We don't care. Informal non-standard, it's not in any test. So don't care about this one. Another chapter. And by the way, we don't test you for it. Only one question. Here we have a lot. Look, the subject. What can be a sign of stubbornness? Persist. So persistent is stubborn. So be careful. Another common mistake that we can delete to in some. He said sometimes, not rules. Sometimes because of the history and improvement of language in society, some people find help can followed by infinitive directly or 2 plus infinitive. Like that, except to feed. All right, you can use to feed or feed. So when you find it like that, no problem. And for the parallelism, later we'll study it. And the dogs like to roam, and so it's a compound verbs. You can repeat 2 in the second verb phrase or not. It depends on the writer. And most academic writers do not repeat it to keep it short. So, but you can repeat it, no problem. Be careful. So the writers invent something called the infinitive phrase. It's a phrase, has infinitive. Do you have infinitive? Yes. If the writer add details like what? To give example, like to make what? We need object. And how? Quickly. So all of it, infinitive phrase. Can we use comma after it? Of course, wrong. Here before, of course, wrong. So infinitive phrase does not take any commas at the beginning or at the end or in the middle, except if it is non-essential. Non-essential, we can use 2 commas. So be careful. Let's find here examples. To fix an air conditioner is my next project. What is the subject? To fix. You found it? Is this clear? Yes.
Yes.
Again, in New York, preposition phrase comma, as I told you at the beginning. It's in the sentence, subject verb. No problem. So
Yeah.
we went to see Gramercy Park. So where did we go in New York? Not
Mm.
park in New York. So be careful. So we follow the style of writing. And here we have a lot of examples like infinitive clause. Why not? Do we have infinitive? Yes. To help me was my algebra. No problem. It's correct. And then exercises at home, revise with the answers.
Okay.
And here we have a lot. And then the last phrase before you get angry.
Mm.
Appositives and appositive phrases. This is very, very important because you don't know it except by meaning. The other ones you can know preposition, present participle, gerund. Here, for example, appositive language, it's a pronoun or noun. To put it near to what it modifies, so it must be noun or pronoun. Like that is capital. What is the name? Usage once.
Mm.
And it must be agreement in gender and number. A positive phrase, a phrase has a positive. Look, Lucy, friend, it is a positive. And how about the rest of the information? All of the phrase. The phrase, a positive phrase can be long. Why not? But try to know the beginning and the end. Look in the middle to commas, at the end preceded by comma. Remember, this comma is necessary. If you don't have it, wrong. At the beginning, you need comma. Why? Why? To help the reader to understand the beginning of the sentence. But if I delete it, you will not understand what is the relation between this and that. But the writer or the writers use the apostrophe phrase to help the reader to know more. For example, the reader does not know what means entomology, so he helps them. That's why we use apostrophe to understand reading. If I don't know, so be careful. Now we came to the apostrophe phrase as essential, non-essential. As I told you, two commas means non-essential, not important. If you delete it, it does not affect the meaning. But how? Yes, this part non-essential. Why? Because already I have one teacher. So you know that I have one teacher. So it's not important to tell you what's the name. But here I must give you the name because I have many. So it depends on the writer and the style of writing. But don't worry, we will not test you for memory or general language.
Oh, okay.
Here, for example, look, why to describe the organization. Here to come is why to tell you who is marketer, instructor. She was a job author. So that means important. It's called in English apostrophe phrase. Now let's go to the questions to know more about it. And the revision at the end, you can have many examples. Let's go to the questions. Let's practice the questions to know the phrases. Look, Omar, past participle phrase at the beginning. Try to memorize the rules. The what? The rules.
Mm.
Look, phrase, comma, past participle phrase, subject. Look, and then non-essential as a positive, comma, the verb. Look, here's the verb, and then complements. And then the writer starts a new sentence again. So from the beginning to the end, it's a sentence. He wanted to add details, no problem. At the beginning, no problem. Now, undeterred by the delayed admission. Who was undeterred? Thor. Who is Thor? A highly educated woman, a positive. And then he wants to add relative clause to describe her more. Why not? So Thorpe would happen to quickly caught up with her white counterparts. So when we answer number 24, We need to check what is the best answer. You know the common mistakes. What's the common mistakes? Complete sentence, comma, complete sentence, full stop, wrong. Here, start a new sentence again. So between this sentence and this sentence, we have only comma, common mistake called comma splice. So follow the rules. The structure was wrong. Again, follow the rules. Before calling it must be sentence. Yes. How did you know the structure? And after, I don't care. I don't care after calling. It can be sentence fragment. But do you have mistake? Yes. It's common. Why? Because you should not separate the verb from the object. Look, preposition phrase. So this comma unnecessary, wrong. Look again. Semicolon. Follow the rules. Follow the rules. Is before it complete sentence? Yes. After semicolon, it must be correct. Do you have any mistake? No. See, correct. Again, this comma between two complete clauses, wrong. So this is comma is wrong. And this comma again wrong. So you have two ways to prove it. This answer is wrong. That's why Omar understood.
Understood.
Let's try again. Number 21. You make it letter D. But no, it's a letter A. Let's prove. Follow the rules. You have two dashes. Delete them and read. In the next class, remember we practice everything. Next class, preposition phrase, you need comma. And then the sentence, shall discussed. Three distinctive ingredients. Look, past participle again. Ingredients which are used. Look, past participle phrase. And then the writer gives examples between two dashes. Delete. Look, ingredients used in and help us. So the shift discussed and help us called the compound. Compound predicate. Past, past. Between two dashes and delete. So helped us incorporate. Look, infinitive directive not to incorporate can be, and then preposition phrase. So that's it. So it's correct. So the sentence is clear without. So that means you need to similar language. Again, you can use comma. Okay, but you have second dash, not underlined. So you need second dash because non-essential or emphasized information to tell you more about the ingredients. So be wrong. So no different language. Here the same problem. In this part you don't have, you need second. So wrong. So now wrong. But two dashes means emphasized information, but if you delete it doesn't affect. Again. Let's together find the phrases in this part. Here, given the recent entry, past participle phrase, and then preposition phrase, then preposition phrase, look, and then infinitive phrase, and then look to publish infinitive phrase, and then preposition phrase, and then close. You see? That's why. So I'm just like practice what's the phrase. So now you understand the phrases after revising, inshallah. Let's crack this question. 22, it must be letter C. But why letter C? Follow the rules. Follow the rules. Before full stop, it must be complete sentence. So simply take the information from the beginning to the full stop. Is this a sentence or fragment? I must define subject and verb. Meaning, remember, as I told you, to find the subject and the verb equally, delete all the phrases, any kind of phrase. Delete all the relative clauses. Delete all the non-essential. After deleting them, it checks the rest of the sentence. Let's go to delete them. I'm just a check. Is it complete or not? Past participle phrase delete, phrase delete, phrase delete, look, phrase delete, phrase delete, delete, relative clause delete, look, what is left? This part. Visually impaired or otherwise printed disabled. This is subject and verb, or that is past participle impaired. And what is the subject? There is no subject. That means it's a fragment. So this part, fragment. What means a fragment? Piece of information like phrases and clauses. Phrase and relative clauses. So it's a part of a sentence, not sentence. So fragment means part of sentence, not sentence. So before full stop, wrong. Follow the rules. Before semicolon, it must be sentence. This sentence, we prove it, it's a fragment. Wrong. Before single dash, one dash, it must be. This is not. Wrong. Look in second. Why? Because we know sentence of fragment. So very important to know this sentence of fragment. How? Find subject, find verb, find complete meaning. Remember, you must be three. But sometimes you find subject and verb and it's a sentence. If the verb does not need object. There's another chapter, inshallah, we'll find it, but very easy. You know, it's sentence of fragment, so simple. Find them. But why C correct? Simply, as I told you, the writer can start with phrases, relative clause, comma, start. So all of this information before the sentence. Why not? Where is the sentence? Here, there is hope, subject, verb, and then phrases. There is hope that. What is the hope? Progress will be made, and then phrases in addressing the book, famine, and then relative clause that affects, and then details. So look the rest, phrases. So it's a sentence. This is structure correct. Now the importance of phrases is very important. Because all the English based on them, by the way. 23. It must be letter D. But we need to know why. Follow the rules. We have single dash is before it complete. And after explanation, I must find the subject and verb and everything to check it's a sentence or not. If it's a sentence, keep it. Look, Andres, paternity and compound subject, okay, and developed verb. I find the subject and verb, check the meaning. Developed MATLAB based tool, past participle, which is called, and then the relative clause, which they used to measure. So to the dash, it's correct. Okay, but wait, after the dash, it must be explanation. Is this part explanation? Is this part? Something before? No. It's information to complete where is the cover. So it's not explanation. So is wrong. We follow the rules. We prove the rules. For letter B, can we use comma before the preposition phrase? As I told you, the prepositional phrases should not separated from what modifies where the cover in the still water. So we should not use commas. This comma mistake. Again, cover in this part correct. But this part need comma. Why? Because state and state, you need comma. So this comma. Because place, you need to know where. State. So that means you need comma. That's why. So letter C is wrong. So we test you only for the common rules. That's why wrong. 25. It must be letter C. But we need to prove why. Follow the rules. Follow the rules. This is a question I test you. Is it a question, direct question, or indirect? He said, what if? So he asked any question. So you need a question mark. So why use full stop? So without thinking, A and B wrong. So don't look here because already have a mistake there. Again, do we need that? Yes. But why you should separate the adjective from the noun? So remember, adjective followed by noun, whatever the noun, gerund or not, whatever the adjective, past participle, present participle, or positive adjective, it should not separate it from what it modifies by any language, except for non-essential. You need two commas. So this is comma, it's unnecessary because this adjective is noun. Letter D is wrong. We have a question mark, okay, but we have a mistake. Here there is no any mistake. Again, Omar. This is preposition phrase. Should we separate it from what modifies? Wrong. So you can know from this part it's a mistake, or from this part because the question. So find any way to prove it is wrong. This one. Number 26. Still alive? Hello,
Hello.
are you still alive?
Yes, I am.
No letter B, it's correct. Follow the rules. Follow the rules. What is the rules? Subordinated conjunction at the beginning should followed by two clauses. This is structure correct. But you must check is as conjunction or a preposition. The conjunction can be used as a preposition. Some of them. But preposition phrase. Look. Then relative clause. Two forms. Look.
Yes.
So all of this information phrase, relative clause. Okay, what is the subject? This is structure. Subject, look. And then the verb. And then complement. So it's correct. But the problem is here. Are we talking about something related to the feather? No.
No.
Apostrophe again, wrong. But the problem here is the hawk used as plural. Compound noun, it must be, no, not false. We're talking about the feathers. Must be singular. So the letter D is wrong. But we practice the structure. Two commas means non-essential clause. Why not? It can be between two commas. So this comma for the preposition phrases at the beginning. This is comma because non-essential has relative clause. And then complete sentence. Subject verb, so we have full stop. 27. Of course, in the test, I must read from the full stop to the full stop. So the problem, the test maker is long structure or sentence. Now we came to the transition words. Remember something very, very important until we discuss it in details. For example, you have sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, and you must check is it sentence or not. If the transition words, the relationship between them, between 1 and 2, or between 2 and 3. Here, for example, however. So the contrast between this sentence and this sentence, or this sentence, I need to understand. Because the CT's objection had nothing. So we have 3 clauses. 1, 2, 3. Where is the contrast between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3? It's very, very important point, and it will be in any test, by the way. So you must check it. Let's read. Treasury, scrapped. After, okay, first, the treasury objection. How it was released and objection to this design. So the contrast between the first sentence and the second sentence. Do you understand it?
Yes.
In the third sentence. So we have 3. The contrast between 1 and 2. So the transition words can be before the following. Remember, following the preface. It can be at the beginning of the following, followed by comma. In the middle of the following, separated by 2 commas. At the end of the following, preceded by comma. So what is the transition word? At the end of the second following. At the end of the following. At the end, you need comma before. You need comma. You need comma before. Here we have comma. It can be. Here we have comma. It can be. Here we don't have. Here we don't have. So both of them wrong. I found a mistake here. So don't care there. Good job. Now what's the difference between A and B? Should we separate the second sentence with the third sentence by comma? Comma splice mistake. Oh, yes, it's comma splice mistake. So that means is wrong. So letter B correct. Why? We have full stop between 2. Second sentence, third sentence. This is the rules of the transition word. Any transition words, moreover, therefore, however, whatever it is. So we have 3 positions. Before the following, in the middle of the following, at the end of the following. What's the problem? What is the relation? As I told you. And remember, what I say in any writing English. So how do you read it? That's why. So it's letter B. For number 28, the last question before you get angry. 28, my friend, it must be letter B. Why? Let's see. Because we are talking about tasteful, subdued displays. Look, adjective, positive adjective. And look, past participle adjective, between them, comma. So we have adjective, comma, adjective, noun, correct? So we are talking about the displays of the neighbors of Berenice. So we need apostrophe here. Don't have, wrong. We have it, oh, correct. And the neighbors are plural. Neighbors, plural, because he used it as plural. Why you make it singular here? Before the apostrophe, wrong. Oh, we need apostrophe, wrong. So the problem is that we have 2 adjectives. So we have now that. So the displays of the neighbors of Bernie seem. So the subject is displays. So we need apostrophe. That's why. So I'm gonna revise these mistakes and revise the phrases, the questions, and later inshallah we'll complete correcting and we'll send you some notes. That's why.